G'day, I'm Pete and you're watching Thrill Fabrications. Today I'm going to give you all of the detail on the Viva project. Sorry I couldn't give it to you last time with the mad rush to get from the South Island to the North Island before the lockdown. So thought I'd take the time now to walk over the whole project and show you all the bits we've got, and there's quite a few of them. So the guy that I bought it off been collecting parts for a long time, so I'll show you all of that. We definitely still need some parts and some information to make this project really kick off and get underway. So hope you enjoy the walk around, and of course, you know, any advice, comments, recommendations, if you've done it before, hit me up, let me know. It'll be much appreciated and really helpful. I don't know a lot about the Viva platform. Let's get stuck into the walk around. Hope you enjoy.
Alright, here it is on the flesh. So it's very orange. And didn't really get a chance to say much about it last time, excuse any wind. Been just in such a rush trying to get back from the South Island, so it is, as far as I know, a standard 1100 HB, which was an 1159 originally, so it didn't have the slant engine. My plan with the bonnet, obviously it's missing the vents, was to actually make them myself. So if anyone's got the measurements for some GT style hood vents, send them through, because yeah, I'm pretty keen to get stuck into that. I can take the bonnet off and get into that now during lockdown, get it underway, so that'll be cool. Bumper's on, it's looking not bad, but I did notice that it's actually sort of shunted over, so there's a big gap here. And almost touching here, so I was pretty keen to realign that, get that sitting a bit nicer. This grill, I was told, was made up out of two separate grills to make one good one. I'm not 100% sure on its correctness, so if someone can chuck me some photos of exactly what it's meant to look like, and if we are missing any bits, that'd be cool. Obviously don't have any badges as yet. So you can see we're just on any old tyres to roll it around at the moment. But what I am noticing is that we have a lot of room to go for some wider wheels. So that's cool. I don't think it'll be any trouble to get 8-inch wheels on this car. So I'll probably end up running an 8-inch rim with a 205 tyre. The other option is we go for a 9-inch wide 13-inch wheel, and we go to like some Avon semi-slick tyres, which bit more expensive, but you know, might just give the car the edge it needs to honk around the track a bit quicker. So I'll do some head scratching on that, decide what I'm going to go for there, but that'll be a bit of fun, buying the new wheels and bolting them on. So the PCD on these studs is 4 inch, it's the same as a Mini. I am wondering about seeing if I can change it to be the same as a Ford Capri, and then I could run the same size wheels on both. Certainly just something to think about anyway. Not too sure how practical that is. Might just be easier to keep them separate, but yeah, that's something I was thinking of. This is a little detail I'd like to tidy up, just where it transitions from black and around the headlight and stuff, and also the headlight seal looks a bit manky. So the boot was also just scraping the paintwork there, so we might just have to do a bit of a realign on the boot, and then some touch-up paint on that as well. We've got a fuel tank in the boot. We'll probably in the long term get rid of that, but there's a good chance I'll just leave it in there just for testing purposes. I'll probably have a look in there just to see how gnarly it is. You know, might be a bit rusty to use even, might just be better off using a temporary container or something, but I would say that will actually be not a bad little spot to do a drop tank. As many sort of Tiranas and stuff have, so maybe a bit of a drop tank with a fuel cell in there would look pretty tidy, so that's something I'm thinking of doing. Right, here we are under the back of the Viva, just checking out the diff. Something that's going to definitely need upgraded because it's just the original 1100 diff, and you can see those axle tubes look pretty skinny, so I don't think they'll last too long. Right, so these are the two diffs that come with the car. I was told the bottom one's been welded, and then there's the top one that hasn't been, it's just open. Now, as far as I know, both of these are 1800 HC Viva diffs, and so the ratio shouldn't be too bad. So we're going to try and install this top one. It needs, you know, at least some stuff replaced in these brake drums before I throw it in. Probably not going to do a full rebuild on it because I'm not sure it's going to stay in the car, but at least get it to the point I think the brakes will function, so we can bleed them up and that sort of stuff. We'll also probably take that back cover off and have a go at counting the teeth on this. I think I've got some sealant I can seal that back up with while we're in lockdown, so I'll probably whip that off. Check diff ratio inside the car now, and you can see we've got to do a rear bulkhead, essentially seal the back off from the cabin. That shouldn't be too bad. You can see the previous owner's already done the speaker holes. Not the tidiest work, but that'll get covered up. We'll need to get, you know, basically we have no interior, so we need to get or make, probably more likely, because we probably won't be able to buy anything that's any good, door cards for the back. We'll probably have to either look for a seat. We might be able to get a seat, but I also just thinking about doing the rear cover like we did in the Capri. Worked out pretty nice, and leaves it a bit more flexible for putting the roll cage in as well. Obviously our cage will go in here, got to install that. That'll be a series doing that. The dash, we've got the standard dash in here, but we've got no dash pad or anything, so I need to figure out what was actually there. I'm not 100% sure what was there. And we've got a set of pedals sitting down there that, you know, look good enough for now. Some of the issues though are things like the brake master cylinder and those sorts of things. They might get a bit difficult to get a hold of, so in that case we may end up going to like an aftermarket pedal box and brake system and stuff. And I've managed to get the original dash, so not the GT one obviously, just the standard one, but we'll keep an eye out, and you never know, we might find one. Unlikely though. In terms of door seals and stuff, we don't have them for here, so be a new door seal. I think we need new seals for the window here as a minimum. These seals are looking a bit ugly, so it'd be nice to get new ones of those, but they weren't cheap. They were about, I think the cheapest ones was probably about 250 bucks for a set. Could do with a new rear and front windscreen seals, to be honest. You know, you can see this is pretty toasted. Same for the front, it's just had its day, I would say. So be looking to get new front and rear windscreen seals with the chrome strip around there. Hopefully rear spares or someone like that have this strip in stock to replace the one along the bottom. That's the one that's really obviously missing. The rest of it doesn't look too bad. I haven't seen these window seals for sale, and to be honest they're probably the best ones of the whole car, so we could probably put up with leaving those as is for now. Okay, so this is the engine that's come with the HB Viva. I believe it originally started life in a Bedford van. It's a 2.3 litre block, but it's been built up in the past, so a bit of a hint of that from the side draft manifolds on there. But also it's been bored 30 thou over and has Chev 307 pistons in it. I'll try and dig up a bit more history on the motor itself and where it come from and all those sorts of things, but it's definitely a built engine. The dead giveaway is this adjustable cam timing gear, so to dial the cam timing in 100%, you can see that's got some adjustment there, so pretty cool stuff. But you can see it's just missing a lot of the ancillaries. I think water pump there, cam belt, distributor with electronic ignition it needs, thermostat housing, carbies, which I'll show soon, and then really just making sure that no damage has been done to it over time, and she's good to go back in the car. Needs a bit of a tidy up and a bit of an improve in the colour scheme as well, perhaps. of the engine. She's looking very orange, so same colour as the car. But yeah, look, it's a good starting point, it's a good base. So this is the gearbox that's come with it. I think it's out of an 1800 HC Viva, so I think the gear ratios might not be too bad for that. So that's what I'm planning on using. I was told that the gearbox was a bit crunchy though, so you need to figure out you know, synchro kits and perhaps try to do a bit of a rebuild on this thing before it goes in the car. But to be honest, what's probably going to happen is it's going to get thrown in just to get the car mobile and moving around, and then it can come back out later once I've got the parts and rebuilt. Got a roll bar, and the rest of the kit is tucked in away here behind the boat. You can see that down there, but a bunch of tubing. So that kit was supplied by Racecraft Engineering in Christchurch. They do a really good job, and they did the cage for the Capri. So I was happy with how that turned out, so basically ordered another one off them. So that's got to go on the car, that's something to do. Right, I don't know how we'll go for light in the old garden shed, but what I've got is like heaters, flywheels, starter motor, set of extractors, brake drums. Now these are some top arms out of a, is it Velox VX90, I think is what he said. I'm not that familiar with the different models to be honest. But what he was telling me was that if you fit these to the Viva, it gives you about 3-5 degrees negative camber. So that's a way of getting negative camber on that. Whereas, you know, the McPherson struts and stuff on the Capris and Escorts are a bit different. These have the double arms, so you've got to have adjustable arms to change that, or different length arms in this case. There's also a brake master cylinder down there, brake booster, and more junk over here, you know, horns and water pumps, pistons and all sorts of stuff. So gear shift levers, different sump and stuff in there, an old cam belt we could probably use just for turning the motor over or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So a bunch of spares. Right, here we are up the front of the Viva. I can't open the bonnet too easily just yet. I actually need to take the whole thing off and bolt it on properly in that, but I'll probably leave it off until I get those vents done. So just crouching under here for now, but you can see that we do actually have a brake booster that looks like it's in okay shape, and a master cylinder that can probably be rebuilt, so that's cool. Those are the top arms I was talking about that we can replace to get some camber on the front end. So that's cool, quite a rare part I'm told, so pretty stoked to come with that. Otherwise I probably would have been looking at building something from scratch. It's got some toasted ball joints there. I mean, most of that stuff looks like it needs to be replaced. Top and bottom ball joints, tie rod ends, redo all of that. This subframe I believe is out of an HC 1800. It's just been sandblasted, painted up. So, you know, the 2.3 litre engine should essentially just bolt in. You can see the previous owner was modifying that engine mount there a bit, and the reason he was doing that was he was trying to fit the exhaust past there, without much luck I'm told. So I think we have to try and do an exhaust that goes up and over the top. But you know, all in all, we're looking reasonably tidy with the front end. No idea about front brakes on these, to be honest. I'm picking just a pretty small solid 8-inch rotor, so definitely something we could like to improve on there, but to be honest the Capri's running those, so we might just give them a skim and see how we go, chuck a seal rebuild kit in, and you know, that'll get it up and running. And we can see the whole underside of the shell has been blasted and painted, so that looks awesome. One of the things I was really pleased about with this vehicle.
So fair bit of detail there, quite the walk around. You know, you probably know as much as I do about the Viva at this point. So I think I'm going to start off by putting the diff in the car, checking the ratio and putting it in the car. That'll be next episode, so stick around, we'll actually do some work. Thanks for watching.